December, what is it, the 31st, 2016, and I am so full. I have so much to say to everybody. And so I guess this is just me saying it to the world because you know what? I'm to a place in my life when it's just like whatever. So this is what I'm got. This is what I'm gonna say. To those of you who know me personally or maybe even just via the internet, I'm a very cool, laid back, fun, goofy type of female. That's it. I'm chill for the most part. I like to have fun. I don't really care about going out. You know what I'm saying? I'm very, way, way, way more comfortable with enjoying life at home. You know what I'm saying? I got kids. I got a husband. You know, my life is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Got no beef with life in general. But it's like on a personal note, okay, so I have kids. Now I'm gonna start with them. It's easiest. They woke up. I woke up this morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. 6 o'clock in the morning. It's vacation time, so 6 o'clock in the morning. Nobody should be up in my house. 6 o'clock in the morning. They're running over my head. Now they have a whole floor of their own, their bedrooms. You hear them running across the floor, down the steps, down here, giggling, laughing like it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm flipping. I get up, I flip out on them. You know, tell them about disrespectful. They acting like they don't understand. They like something's wrong with them mentally. The disrespect levels, I can't seem to get across to them. So then I said, okay, fine. I'll just beat the hell out of you because, well, that's what's next. You don't learn from listening. You learn from feeling. Okay, so they talked themselves out of that one. They wound up getting. We go to the park. We have a park. We wound up going to the park, and they ran 10 minutes. That was it. That's all I made them run. Should have been longer. Should have been maybe more like 30, but I think I got tired, and I could see that they was tired, and whatever. It's 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock by now in the morning. So that's what they did. They ran a little bit, came back home. I cooked breakfast, and I think everybody's asleep now. I don't hear any more running across my head, and I know my daughter's in the next room. Okay, so that's them. You know what I'm saying? As far as if you're a child, not even if you're a child in terms of age, if you live with someone else, if you're a grown person and you live with someone else, be respectful. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things, people are not respectful. You know, like, for instance, I had this friend, a guy I met, over the summer. You know, he's really nice, really cool, but, you know, he didn't have his own spot. He didn't have a job, so he lived with his best friend. His best friend's a female. Now, she worked, and she had a son. And so he would come to me. He'd be like, da-da-da-da. He's complaining, you know what I'm saying, that she wanted him to do shit, like clean up. She wants you to clean up, so clean the fuck up. Like, I don't understand. You know, she goes to work, you're at the house, clean up. Now, their situation was weird. He didn't have a key to the house and all this other stuff. He's a grown-ass man. But at the same time, you know, while I tried to understand and be related to him and his grown-ass manism, I also had to be related to the fact that you're a grown-ass man living on this woman's couch. So you are literally at her mercy. You should listen. You should do the freaking dishes because she asked you to do the dishes, or clean the bathroom, or whatever the fuck she asked you to do. That's what you should do because, well, she's feeding you, and I mean, I don't know if she was clothing him, but, you know, she's feeding him and giving him a roof over his head, and he didn't have no out of pocket. Okay, so that was that. You know what I'm saying? He wound up moving from her into with his, I think it was his baby's mother, you know, and they wound up, you know, and that's great. You know, that's great. And I'm hoping, you know, I stopped talking to him. We stopped being friends. But I'm hoping that everything worked out for him, you know, that he realized that either, I don't know if he started working, you know, I tried to help him, you know, drove him around and stuff, did, you know, stuff for him or whatever, but we was cool, you know, and then all of a sudden he stopped talking to me, so my assumption was that he stopped talking to me because him and his baby mama got back good, and in some way he or she thought that I was in the way. I don't care about that. That's fine. That's whatever. If my husband, you know, decided that I was in the way or of something, then I would do the same thing. So that's fine. Or vice versa, I would assume. Okay, so that's that. If you're living with somebody and you're literally at their mercy. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? If that's your girlfriend or your boyfriend, maybe that's one thing. Maybe y'all got some type of agreement or y'all are cool on some level. But if that's not it and you're living on their couch or you're living in their house, but in whatever way, and you're not, and I'm not just gonna say contributing because people think, okay, I live here, and I'm in Jersey, so or in New York, we live up here in the northern states, and I'm gonna give you, what I'm saying, $100 a week. That's not contributing. I mean, and I'm gonna still eat and sleep and live in your house. No, you don't. You can't live anywhere. I don't even know if down south. Maybe if we got a 1 bedroom where I was living at in South Carolina, you could probably live there for $400 a month. Maybe, probably not still. You know what I'm saying? There's no place that I know of, and I only know of generally the East Coast. So there's no place that I know of that you could live solely off of like $400 a month. It doesn't exist. So no, unless you are contributing, and I mean really contributing, meaning you're paying. I think, from my knowledge, a 1 bedroom is like $800 up here, plus your food, plus I guess lights. I'm not even sure. But if you're not doing more, contributing, then you don't have rights. I'm sorry, like your rights are really limited. If I moved in with you, and I was on your couch or shit, like you gave me a bedroom, whatever it is, dude, I do what I'm asked. You want me to wash the dishes? I wash the dishes. You want me to go grocery shopping? I go. Whatever the fuck it is, that's what you do, because you're there and your respect level. You shouldn't just, cleaning up. Like, I don't understand. Oh, I didn't make them dishes. Who gives a fuck? I cook every day. Every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm cooking, or something that I bought is being cooked. So you need to I shouldn't have to ask you to take out the trash or do the dishes or clean the bathroom. I shouldn't have to ask you to do shit. And this goes for grown-ups living in somebody's house, but also to get as a child. If you're a child, or as a child, your parents shouldn't be asking you to do much, but they are, because you're the child. Okay, so that's that with the living situation. Now, relationship wise, I've been married for a very long time, and I've been through a massive amount of crap. And that's not to say I haven't given a massive amount of crap as well. But let me explain a couple of things. All females are not created the same. And what I mean by that is, if I've it's kind of crazy because I just thought of like 5 different types of females. But let me do the ones that are on my mind. So you got females who want more, and they want more, and they are willing to give more. I want more, I'm going to give you more, and vice versa. We're going to give each other more. And sometimes what I see, what happens with that is, while I'm giving more, you're not giving more. And then maybe I get tired of giving, and then it flops, and maybe you give more, and so that's how that's how my relationship went. We had this unnerving, topsy-turvy back and forth with giving. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I gave and gave and gave and gave and gave, and when I got tired of giving, I backed off. And then he gave and gave and gave and gave and gave, and probably the same thing when he got tired of giving and backed off. But then, see, in my mind, we're not even, and we're never going to be even. And I had this conversation with my youngest son. It was like, oh, he's I don't want to say mean, because I don't even know if that's what it is, but if you were to use mean as a classification, he would be it. He's not a really emotional child, meaning he's not going to come to you and go, oh, mommy, I love you, and just give you this big hug. He's not like that. He's not gonna, he walk in and you have on a nice outfit, he's gonna go, oh, you look really nice. Even if you do, he's the most gonna like, what the hell, what you got on? What you do? He's gonna like mock, and that's just the way he is. He's just like that. He does it to everybody. Okay, so that's his demeanor. So I went and I had a conversation with him one day. He looked like, he needed to talk. So I went and I was like, okay, what's up? Like, what's going on? And he was like, oh, and this one's mean, and he's talking about his siblings, and everybody's mean. All of them he has one younger sister, but everybody's mean. Everybody's doing this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, if I took a list, I was asking him if I took a list and I wrote everything down, and I wrote down his, everything, between him and his sister, his older sister, who would have done the worst? And he was like him, and then him and his younger sister, he was like him, but him and his brother, he would say his brother did the worst. Okay, so I was like, well, what would have to happen on all those levels for it to be equal? I don't know, and I only asked him this because he is a eye for an eye type of kid. So he feels like if you do something to him, he literally automatically, if he eventually has to do something back. So then it becomes this big thing, because if you get into a fight with your sibling, or if I get into a fight with my sibling, we squash it then. If I win, that time I win, and that's it. And then, we go back to being regular. And that's how, to me, normality is. You wake up the next day, generally, everything is good unless it was some type of something else. And when I say something else, it's more so with, like, let's say I cut off your hair, right? You're a girl and you have hair, and I shaved, your head down the middle. No, we're not gonna wake up the next day and we're gonna be equal. But if we got into a physical fight, you know what I'm saying, and we both got off ours, and at the end you lost, but everything is good, nobody's broken, nothing is wrong. To me, we should be able to get past that. Or maybe we had some words, and you called me fat and I called you ugly and all of those things, and we should be able to get past that. But see, he just doesn't seem to be like that. He is just this boy, and he wants to hammer and hammer and hammer in, and there's never going to be an equal factor because they are older and everyday crap happens. Okay, so that's that. But my husband and I got into some. We had a, I don't even know what to call it. We disparted for a little while this spring summertime, and I really was hurt. And see, he doesn't understand why I was hurt, because I was hurt because of what happened before, in the past. And it just, like, things kept coming up that kept reminding me of it. And so, at the end of the, that one night, I just was like, bump it, just get away from me, just leave. And so I acquired friends. I don't know if they could be called friends. I acquired people who I could have conversations with that I didn't argue, and they were males. It was two, and it was the one I explained to you, the one I told you about before. He was friendly. He came around. He was cool. Didn't fight. Didn't argue. And like I said, eventually we just fell off. No problem. And that was probably, like, I stopped talking to him in, like, July. No, June, something like, I don't even remember. But yeah, maybe June. But it wasn't a fight or nothing. We weren't together or anything like that. We were cool. And then we had the other one who everybody, I guess knows about, but we weren't together. We were just friends. He was just somebody I could talk to and be around. That made me forget about the crap that was going on, if that made any sense. I try to explain this to people. They don't understand. I don't think that people think, or they realize, that you could be a female and you can have male friends or males that are around you. Whether you like them and they like you is not really relevant. And that's what people miss, that every female, and I'm assuming every male, but every female, or this female, is not like, oh, well, every guy I talk to and that I'm interested in, you have relations with them, or even a relationship with them that goes beyond y'all just conversing, y'all just talking, y'all just being cool, having something or a couple of things in common, like good food. Like, we ate amazing food. Like, that was really something that we had in common. He took me to the different spots, showed me the different places to eat. Why? Because I like to eat. Like, fuck. Okay. So that fell out on some, he did some trite shit that really wouldn't have been trite if he would have not did it the way he did. So he got with a girlfriend, which is cool because we weren't together. And then he brought this female around when I wasn't around, and he was, in my house with the girl. Okay, that was because I trusted, and I probably shouldn't have, because this is Jersey. Cool. Lesson learned. No problem. No, not even really no beef there, except for the disrespect part. But that's the thing. It seems like everybody wants to be disrespectful. Everybody wants to find themselves in a place where they can just be rude and disrespectful to those around you, those who do for you. And yes, I've done for people. I'm a giver. I don't even know how not to be a giver. And I think that's my gift and my curse. I don't know if I have money and you need money. What I'm saying? And I can help. Like, it's not going to be a hindrance to me. That's what I'm going to do. What I'm saying? I'm going to be helpful. And like I said, that's a good and a bad thing. And I've really, probably these last few months, and I'm only saying months, I've been like this for forever. I temporarily stopped giving so much. And I stopped giving not just money, but my time. And that's something else that I've allowed to be taken for granted. My freaking time. Like, I give and give and give knowledge and time and things that I've learned. And I give my time by just listening. People just call me and they'll just talk. And I don't do that anymore. I don't even have anybody who calls and talks to me anymore. I don't have any friends per se anymore who we just converse. I have this one girl. We're cool. Like, she's younger. She's probably closer to my oldest daughter's age, but she's a really cool chick, you know, and I like her. We did lunch yesterday. You know, she took me to this really great seafood spot, and I tore it up. She tore it up. We had lunch. Where she's good, you know, and she came out of she was like a positive and a negative situation that was going on, you know, but you know she's really like, I have no beef with her, you know, I like her, you know, whatever. But so that's that. Now back to the relationship thing, 'cause I think that's what's heavy in my mind. So I was told, reverse. Let me go back a little further. So there's this app. There's a bunch of apps. There's these few apps where you could go live like this, you know, and you got people when they watch, and you know, again, I wasn't like, oh, I'm single, or you know, it wasn't like that. I was just kind of, for once in a long time, just enjoying life. And while that may seem really weird, I've spent the last 20 years of my life for everybody else. And I mean literally, and 90% of my life, has been focused and dedicated on other people. Mostly my kids, my husband. That's mostly who it was. And other people kind of came in and out. You know, I've done things for people that are either family or not. I've gotten shitted on so many times I can't even count. You know, I've been put in positions that I probably never should have. But at the end of the day, like I said, for me, life is life, and you're going to live it, and then shit is going to happen to you, and then you're going to learn from it, and then you're going to live it again, and then more shit's going to happen to you. And the things that happen to you are what's supposed to make you you. The things that happen to you are what's supposed to mold you and build you into a better person. So I'm going to say this. First, I have never done something compromising sexually, or I don't think verbally. I curse a lot. That's probably the most compromising thing. I use the F word a lot, you know, and I yell and I scream, and I'm naturally a loud person. I'm born and raised in Queens, New York. That's not my excuse. My excuse is I'm loud because my mother's side of my family and my father's side of my family is not. Now, my father himself is not loud, but our family is. And I don't know if it's just the females, but when I get hyper, I am 6'4". I am maybe like 250. You know what I'm saying? I've been through what I would consider hell and back. I've had physical, mental, emotional abuse. My spirit has been broken, stepped on, and walked across. I've been hit. I've gained. I used to be 350 pounds, so I've lost 100 pounds on my own, no drug. I've been through a lot, and my reasoning for saying this, is because I need to end this year on as positive of a note as I can. And what I mean by that is I'm going to get this all out, because the people who this goes to, I can't really tell them. They don't really listen. They don't hear me. So, no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this and leave it. And, you know, whatever happens with it, it happens. Because it's not that I'm not ashamed of anything. There's nothing that you can ask me that I've been ashamed of, because I use my brain a lot. And while my heart guides me in a lot of ways, my brain is there. Like, you know, have I done stupid shit? Yes, but tell me a person who hasn't. You know what I'm saying? My stupid shit really remains verbal. Like, I do and say a lot of shit. I do and say a lot of shit that I've never done. Like, but anyway, I haven't compromised myself sexually. I'm going to say that, and I'm saying that simply because I was asked this question, and I was told that there was a video surfaced somewhere of some sort, a Snapchat or something, that had me talking. Now, all I could think of was that levied, because the only things that I have that are out there of me talking is like Facebook things, these things, and those live things, those hang with and lively and stuff. And maybe I stuck my tongue out, you know, did a little, maybe I was drunk, you know, because I do drink. Maybe I was smoking. I don't know what it was, you know, because I haven't seen it myself. But when you come to me and you ask me things that would seemingly say that I degraded myself or demean myself, and I'm saying that to me because everybody has rules, their own personal rules to their life that is like, if I do this, these things they're good, and these things they're bad, and what the fuck ever. And my thing is, at the end of the day, I don't agree with that. I don't believe that if you're a stripper that makes you bad, or shit, if you're a call girl that makes you bad, or what else? What else is shit? If you're a crackhead, it don't make you bad. Whatever, you know. What do you call those things? I don't want to say addictions. I guess your addictions, but your choices. Whatever choices you made or you make on a daily basis, those are yours to live with. Not mine. That's not my business. That's not things. But I've never been a call girl. I've never, like I said, compromised myself. I've never I've made funny videos or videos, you know, maybe with my tongue out, shit, maybe even twerking a little bit, dancing a little bit. That's because I'm grown and I can do that, and it doesn't compromise me. You don't have anybody who can, I don't know. There's nothing really to say about me. She's goofy. She's silly. She drinks. She smokes sometimes. I'm trying to think of the negative stuff. She's loud. She curses. She's fat. You know, she's tall. I don't know if those things are negative. They're not negative to me. But nothing I just said to me is negative. Those are just a part of who I am. Some of them are a part of who I was. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I don't, just because I'm not one, you know, or I haven't been like a call girl or escort or whatever the hell other names of that, I still think is disrespectful. If you ask me, you know what I'm saying, once, and then I'm like, okay, you know, and I answer the question, and then I come back around and you're like, you know, maybe a couple months later, and not even, just a couple of weeks later, and you ask me again, and then a couple of weeks later, you ask me again, and I'm kind of getting like, yo, wow, those people who choose to do those things, that's their business. You know what I'm saying? If you ask me and I told you, why do you keep asking me? So then I asked, I was like, so what's up? You know, what happened? What is it that makes you keep asking me these questions? And, you know, there's like this crickets, you know, just a silence, and you really don't want to tell me. And that's fine. You don't have to tell me, because whoever you got it from, you know what I'm saying, as far as I'm concerned, if somebody comes to me, you know, if you know a person, you know, or you think you know a person, and you come to me and let's say I got a guy, you know, and I've known him for 10 years, and, you know, they come to me and they're like, you know, he's an escort, he's a male escort. I'm going to go through my mind and be like, you know, maybe he could be, you know, and that will make me act. So my thing is, so you had to go through your mind and be like, well, maybe these things that she's done made me think that she is. But then after you ask me and I'm like, no, that should be the end of that. So that kind of made me feel some type of way, because then I could reverse it and be like, well, fuck, are you a call? What is it? It's not a call guy. Is that what it would be? Are you a male gigolo? You know, whatever it is. But so that was a problem, but that's not a thing. But my thing is, okay, so now that that's said and done, I have been on a really, really long journey. A really long journey. And lately I've been kind of thinking like, you know, oh, did it finish? Yes, it finished. You want to quit, you know what I'm saying? You want to give up. And I felt like that recently. You know, people who I've lived with and been with, and who are supposed to love, care, and protect me as I love, care, and protect them, it's been like that. But this year has been draining. And it's been draining for a whole nother reason. You know, like last year, 15 was in its own self, draining. 14 was horrid. You know, 7 was horrid. 4 was horrid. The great thing about 4 was my son was born. The great thing about 5 is my daughter was born. In 01, my son was born. But like this last 2 years have been eye-opening, physically and mentally and emotionally draining, but still eye-opening. I am growing. Maybe not at the rapid pace that I would presume that I should be, because I'm 37, 36, 38. What the fuck am I? 36. I'm 36. And I feel like, you know, I felt a long time ago like stuff should be over. You know, certain things shouldn't be going on anymore. Certain people shouldn't be doing certain things, but that's not my call. The only person I have absolute and complete control over is myself. So while I am very good at telling you a story, if you hurt me enough, or you back me up in a corner, I do have a severe fight or flight mode that can definitely put me in a place of you back me into a corner, I'm gonna do what people do, what people do when they're backed into a corner. I may verbally try to hurt you or emotionally try to hurt you because that's where I am. So I guess right now I'm just gonna, dead this off a little bit and be like, okay, that is what it is. But life for me has gotten a little bit complicated, and I'm really, really in the next probably 2 hours gonna go into some real simplifying, some real getting this shit out the way because I won't, I don't want to, start another day, another year, another hour with the bullshit. Thank you for letting me rant and rave to nothing and nobody. I appreciate it. It's great. It's good. And everybody have a good one. Deuces.